You're watching live coverage of President Trump's task force briefing on the coronavirus pandemic. The president again saying Easter is his target date to, quote, get the economy moving again. FEMA, he says, distributing 8 million N95 surgical masks and millions more gloves, surgical masks, and ventilators. He says private companies like Ford and GM continue to pitch in, helping to manufacture these supplies. Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA building medical facilities in New York City and other parts of the state, also in California and New Jersey. The president saying Senate lawmakers are close to that $2 trillion economic aid package. Now, to continue watching the latest developments from Washington, you can view the briefing live on our free Western Mass News streaming app. There are now 1,159 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the Bay State. State Health Department releasing the latest numbers just about an hour ago. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Pisano. Now, that is up 382 from just yesterday. They say there have now been 11 deaths in Massachusetts due to the coronavirus. Of that total, only 94 people have been hospitalized. The state confirms there are 24 cases in Hampden County, 8 in Hampshire, Franklin County has 5, and there are 37 in Berkshire County. And more headlines from today. Governor Baker's order for non-essential businesses to close began at noon. That will remain in effect until Tuesday, April 7th. The governor says the state is also ramping up testing. 13,749 tests have been conducted to date. AGAWAM is confirming 5 cases of COVID-19 in their town. East Longmeadow reporting 3. And Connecticut's governor says it's likely schools there will be closed until the fall. Governor Charlie Baker and his administration are rolling out new legislation designed to help local governments function more safely during the coronavirus outbreak. The bill announced at a press conference where the governor also criticized federal lawmakers for partisan bickering over the COVID-19 stimulus package. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live now in Springfield to break it all down. Audrey?
So even when an emergency like this one strikes, local governments can't just go changing protocol that's already in the law books. So the governor's new legislation would ease some of those strict regulations that normally help local governments function in times of peace.
In order for them to be more flexible, more able to make decisions and respond to the needs of the people in their community, there are some things that we in the executive branch and the legislature will need to do to support them.
Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito, along with Governor Charlie Baker, announcing legislation to help local governments run more effectively during the coronavirus pandemic. For first responders, the bill would allow electronic signatures on warrants and criminal complaints to cut down on in-person court proceedings. It would also allow qualified workers like retired city employees to step in if regulars on the job get sick. School districts would be allowed to suspend 2021 budget votes, and under the bill, the Commissioner of Elementary and Secondary Education can modify or waive the required competency determination for high school graduation and modify or waive MCAS testing. Baker, who Tuesday lauded decisive action already taken by local governments, lambasted federal lawmakers for failing to do the same with the coronavirus stimulus package.
Make a deal. Make a deal.
Closer to home, non-essential businesses have now closed their doors for the next 2 weeks, per the governor's order.
I think the main concern is everybody's just worried about being away.
Western Mass News spoke with MJ Norton Security over video chat. Reps with the company say they've seen an increase in business owners requesting surveillance on the temporarily empty buildings.
Right now we have about 20 to 30 clients that have increased their coverage. If we get enough feedback, we can do a roving patrol in an area.
They say their goal is to help the business community feel secure so they can focus on helping their employees rather than worrying about potential break-ins.
A visible deterrent.
Certainly a lot to unpack there. Now, another unique part of the governor's legislation is something that would move to allow takeout restaurants and bars to include beer and wine in their delivery. This whole bill from the governor needs to be approved by lawmakers on Beacon Hill before it can be passed. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you for that live report. Now, among the newest cases of coronavirus here in Western Mass, as we mentioned, include 5 in AGAWAM. That town's public health director saying 2 of the 5 are in the hospital while the others are recovering at home. Western Mass News reporter Purvis getting answers for us tonight. He spoke with Mayor Bill SAPELLI just a short while ago and joins us now live from Town Hall with the latest. Leon?
Chris, the mayor believes that this won't be the last time you hear about folks testing positive for the coronavirus in AGAWAM.
I think it's important for people to know it is real and it is here in our community, as it is in many communities.
Mayor Bill SAPELLI speaking to Western Mass News after releasing information that 5 AGAWAM residents have tested positive for COVID-19. While he wouldn't divulge any specific details about those residents, he does believe this is just the beginning.
The testing is just starting to be developed and distributed, and the results are just starting to come back. So I think you're going to see this ramped up with many, many surrounding communities as well as ours. This number is going to be climbing.
SAPELLI believes anyone could have the virus and not know it.
I think there's people that were walking around with it that just didn't know it. Some people, as we well know, are affected differently, and some really don't have any of those signs that others may.
And the mayor's message to residents: follow the social distancing rules and only leave home if you have to. Live in AGAWAM, Purvis, Western Mass News.
Leon, thank you for that live report. And the forced shutdown of non-essential businesses here in Massachusetts is now leading to an uptick in the number of people who are filing for unemployment right in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. But what if you're self-employed, like many hairdressers? Western Mass News reporter Sarah Granelli joins us live after getting answers for that. Sarah?
Chris, those who are self-employed, like people here who work at Brush, won't be able to collect unemployment. With all non-essential businesses forced to shut down in Massachusetts, a large group of people who are self-employed, like many hairdressers, are left without a paycheck for at least 2 weeks.
The girls that work here, most of us are self-employed, so they work for themselves behind the chair, meaning they have their own clients that come in, the clients pay them directly, and then they have to file a 1099 tax. They have to file their taxes.
Western Mass News caught up with a part owner of Brush Hair Salon in East Long Meadow, JACLYN LOPES. She says many of the hairstylists there can't collect unemployment.
There's really no outlet for any of us being self-employed to be able to collect unemployment.
According to the state, you get a W-2 tax form if you are an employee of a business. And that means you have been paying into an unemployment fund, allowing you to apply for unemployment benefits. But for Lopes, who is in the hair industry, that is impossible.
If you are self-employed and you receive 1099s, then that means you have not paid into the unemployment system and you are currently not eligible in most cases for unemployment.
State Representative Lindsay Sabadoza says the federal government has the power to make a change.
We do know that he does have the ability to issue disaster unemployment assistance, which is a thing that we are hoping he will do, and then that would cover more people under the system. We are finding lots of people who do not qualify, like the hairdresser that you just mentioned, people who are self-employed.
If concerned, Sabadoza suggests contacting state leaders.
So I think reaching out to your congressperson and to your state senators, to both Senator Warren and Senator Markey, and letting them know how critical this is.
It's a move that Lopes says would be a game changer.
That would be a huge help for a lot of people that are self-employed because there's really no outlets for us at this moment.
The ban on non-essential businesses to be allowed open is expected to end on April 7th. Live in East Long Meadow, Sarah Granelli, Western Mass News.